Hello everyone. In the past you might have noticed that I kept blurring parts of my War on Zero videos or hiding parts behind a piece of paper and stuff like that. Well, yesterday with the new announcement from E3D, you probably know why, but you can see it in action here as well. It's their new Hotend, the E3D Revo. I've been using the E3D Revo for a while now. I use this version on my Voron 0.1 here, as you can see, and I also did some testing on my Voron 2.4 as well when I received this initially, because I didn't have a Voron 0 working at the time. Also, I played with earlier versions of this on my 0.0 as well, but not going to get into those. But yeah, you can see it in action here. It can print really well and it has a bunch of advantages that I will get to, but as you can see, it's printing pretty well. I had some problems with this Voron 0.1 a few times, but those were problems with the printer itself. I never had any problems with the current revision of the Hotend, and yeah, it's printing pretty well. It heats up really quickly. It's one of its advantages, because if you don't know, it's a jacket style heater, which means the heater and the thermistor are built into a small cylindrical shaped piece, the black piece there with the sock, and that also has a very low thermal mass compared to a heat block, which means it heats up very quickly and it cools down very quickly as well, which is very nice because that allows you to make nozzle swaps very quickly. Now with the nozzle there is a sock on it, as you can see, but that's not the stock sock. It will look better than that. That's a stock I made myself using a custom mold. That's made from RTV obviously, but yeah, yours will have a proper stock. They just didn't have that one at the time. And you'll also notice that once you remove the nozzle, the heat block stays in place thanks to a spring that's held in by notches on the heatsink and on the heater side as well. So it stays in place, makes nozzle swaps very easy. And yeah, I really like this actually. And that spring keeps the heat block in place, and once the nozzle is mounted, it actually applies pressure towards the nozzle, and there is a large contact side on the nozzle that touches the heater sides, and that's where the majority of the heater contact happens. And getting the tolerances right for that kind of application, I imagine, must be a nightmare, but yeah, they did it and it works really well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, oh yeah, and one more thing. There are two sizes of this Hotend. One that's smaller and has a screw style mount, kind of like the Delta version of the V6 Hotend that was also used on the Voron 0.0 if you were around back then. But it is smaller, it just uses the same nut. And there's a bigger version that's the V6 form factor version, uses a Himera style threading, so it's smaller, but again works really well. The old V6 style still has groove mounts. I wish the groove mount died a painful death, but it's still around. But at least the screw mount option on the smaller one, it's better than that. I'd still prefer a screw mount, kind of like on the Dragon or the Mosquito, but yeah, it's still much better than just a groove mount at least, so I'm pretty happy with this. And with the fact that you don't need any tools to swap the nozzle, it's just finger tight, you don't need to do any hot tightening or anything like that. Even groove mount would, you know, it would still work fine, I guess, but yeah, I still would have preferred to see a proper screw style mount, and it should be easy to mod if you really want to do it, but yeah, it's still much better than the old solution. But the smaller heatsink should allow you to have much smaller tool heads than this. This is a tool head I modified for the 0.1 for the V7, the Revo Hotend, but yeah, with the new size you can make them much smaller. This is just a modification of the stock Hotend, and I will release the files eventually once the new Hotends are on the market. But by the time I release them, if the Voron design teams comes up with a better design, then I won't, because theirs will almost definitely be better than mine. But if they don't, I will release it. But I know they Voron design team members also have some of them the new Hotends, so yeah, maybe they'll design something better, I don't know. So this video was, I recorded this multiple times, and yeah, it was kind of difficult to edit because I was just jumping from topic to topic and also kept repeating myself. So I think it's a good idea to summarize here and well, repeat myself, I guess. But I really like what E3D came up with this design, and it was kind of difficult for me to keep my mouth shut, to be honest, because this actually is a pretty good Hotend. To be honest, I was kind of doubtful of their capabilities, but since they stuck with the V6 for so long, and to be honest, I wasn't really a fan of some of their recent products either, but yeah, this one is actually really nice. It has a bunch of advantages, like the fact that it heats up very quickly is a big advantage in my opinion. Flow rates are better than V6, and that's with my V7 beta unit, so I'm not going to go into the exact comparison because, well, mine still was a beta unit. I don't know what the release version will be, but I'm sure it won't be worse at least, so yeah, the flow rates are pretty good. Heat up times are really quick, and it also cools down very quickly as well thanks to the low thermal mass of the jacket heater, which means you can very easily swap nozzles and you don't need to do hot tightening or anything like that. Just finger tight is more than good enough, and yeah, it's really nice. As I said, I wish they came up with a better mounting solution than this Delta style V6 mounting, but at least that's still better than groove mount. But yeah, definitely would have preferred the Mosquito or Dragon style mount, so that's one criticism of the design. But I don't know, they said they will reveal more versions of this, so I don't know, maybe they will release them. I really don't know. That's not just me trying to hide stuff because I was in the beta. I really don't know. All we tried was well, in the last round at least, all we tried was this version, and the previous round still nothing that's not revealed yet. So yeah, I don't know. I also would like to see a high flow version of this. Again, I don't know if they will, but they probably will. So yeah, I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see a PT100, PT1000 sensors and stuff like that. But I guess we'll have more information on that around the launch. Yeah, so yeah, this is definitely a good hot hand, so I'd definitely recommend this. And if you were considering buying a genuine V6 or something like that, definitely just wait for this. This will definitely be worth it. It's more expensive, but yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, I can definitely recommend it based on my experience with the beta. Definitely keep that in mind, but I don't expect it to be any worse. So yeah, that's it for this video. As I said, I know it wasn't great, but I just wanted to release a quick video about this. Normally I try to make a more polished video than this, but I hope it was still useful to you. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.